Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. The reason I am so happy tonight is the fact that there is a full time in the Champions League already. And yes, Aston Villa have dropped points. Aston Villa are now on 7 games. They got beat by Monaco. And what that's done is it's pushed Monaco up onto 13 points. It has pushed Monaco up onto 13 points. And Aston Villa remain on 13 points. And another result tonight also is the fact that a team that Celtic played, and just double check this. Another scoreline that's coming tonight is the fact that a team that Celtic played and managed to get a draw. Yes, Atalanta. Atalanta are currently sitting third in the Champions League. That's right. Atalanta are sitting third in the Champions League with 14 points and a goal difference of 14. Goals against 4. Goals for 18. 18 goals for. Celtic are only 8 behind. If Celtic can score 4 tomorrow night, we'll get up there. And it just shows you how tight the predictions were for people saying that we'll finish with 15 points. It is still possible. I mean, it is still possible. We can dare to dream. If we can get onto the 12-point marker tomorrow, I mean, we can be up within the sort of 12th position. We can be up in the 12th position, which is absolutely fantastic if we do. So I'm buzzing for it. I think we can do it. And the fact that Aston Villa have just been beaten by Monaco, and Monaco scored in the 8th minute, the fact that I think Celtic can beat Aston Villa. I've just got a funny feeling. We always manage to do it. We always pull out a result. I mean, at worst, I would expect a draw down in Birmingham. Got to win tomorrow as Villa will be out to win their final game. Yeah, they will, but I think that we can do it. I really think we'll do it. We will have 15 points. Well, there's a few people on the channel said that we would get 15 points. And I tell you one thing, if we do end up with 15 points, fair play to you. Villa need to beat us for automatic qualification. Villa are currently sitting, yes they will, because they're currently sitting, where are they? Well, they're sitting 7th. Well, and it depends how the results go tonight. Depends on the games that are live tonight. There are games starting in just a minute or so. I wonder if it will come up on here for the live scores. Let's click on the matches for the matches tonight. There are games on tonight. So tonight's games, Atalanta won 5-0 against Sturm Graz. Monaco beat Aston Villa 1-0. Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, is just about to kick off. Benfica Barcelona, that's just about to kick off. Liverpool versus Lille, that's just kicked off. Slovan Bratislava versus Stuttgart, that doesn't really affect us, that's kicked off. Bologna Dortmund has just kicked off. So there's a lot of games. Club Brugge, Juventus, PSV is also just about to kick off. So there is a lot of games getting played tonight. And it's exciting stuff. It is exciting stuff because as it stands, the permutations for the Champions League is just absolutely phenomenal. And when we look at the table, it could be the fact that Celtic could move up or down positions tonight without even having kicked a ball. Why is the live table not updating? Interesting. But anyway, let's chat about Celtic. We'll come back to the Champions League and those live results. We'll keep an eye on them. The Liverpool won. Come half time, I'm going to go and watch the Benfica Barcelona game. I think that's a game that I'd like to see. Club Brugge, Juventus. Will Liverpool maintain? Liverpool are playing Lille. Will they maintain their 100% record in the Champions League? It is getting to the money end of it, isn't it? Because Lille are sitting in 10th position. So Lille will want to try and get something in it. Lille have only drawn one game out of the last 5. Liverpool have won their last 5 games. Lille have won 4 of the last 5. They drew the other one. So it has to be a winner. It has to be a winner at the end of the day. Will it be a draw? Lille will want to try and win the game. And if they do, they will jump up. They'll jump up a number of places. I mean, if Lille were to win the game, for instance, they're sitting in 10th position at the moment. If Lille were to win the game, they would move up into second place. Second place. That's depending on the Barcelona result. But they would move into second place. So it just shows you, Barcelona are going to win. Barcelona have got 100% record in the last 5 games. They've only lost 1 in the Champions League. They've won the previous 5. They lost the first game, but remember, they've got goals for. I mean, Barcelona are on. They're your team to tip for the Champions League. They've got a goals for of 21. They're the highest scoring team in the Champions League this season so far. They've scored 21 goals in 6 games, Barcelona, and they've only conceded 7. They've only conceded 7 goals. So for me, all eyes are pointing towards Barcelona, and I'll tell you one thing, I'm going up to Barcelona if they do get to the Champions League final, because that would be something else. The City will be on absolute fire that night. And why is this froze there? It's just jumped back. Right, let's jump in here. I did do a poll. I've just missed hundreds of... we want Barca to win, we do that. Benfica are up 1-0 already. Benfica are up 1-0 already. Why is it not giving me the live? That's UEFA. Why is this site not giving me the live feed? Benfica are beating Barcelona. Jesus, speak too soon. That'll just annoy Barcelona. That will just annoy Barcelona. Jesus, that will annoy Barcelona. The fact that they've only had 7 against them all season. There we go. The table is updated here. There it is. It's updated now. So I've got the live table, and with the results coming through as it stands. Celtic have been pushed down, so is PSG. No, because we're in. Yes, we have. Real Madrid, Man City and Celtic have all been pushed down 1 position. Celtic are currently 22nd in the Champions League. Jesus, without kicking a ball, we've dropped down 1 position, but so have Real Madrid, so have Man City, so do not worry about it. What we really need is... oh God, it's one of those nights, isn't it? It is going to be one of those nights. Anyway, before we look at any more of that, we should calm down just a little bit. And I want to listen to a little bit of Brendan Rodgers, just to get us in the mood for tomorrow night. And Brendan Rodgers says that he wants to show that Celtic can compete at this level. Callum McGregor says they don't want to be the nearly men. They don't want to be nearly men, and a bit like the Scotland squad being nearly men, and don't want to do that. But anyway, Brendan Rodgers.
It's a great position for us to be in. I think that when we started this journey, we wanted to show that we can compete at this level, and can we go and make the next steps and get into the playoff stage. So we've been able to get ourselves into a really good position with 9 points, and our home form at the level has been really good, and we have that opportunity now to take a big step to get to the playoff.
How much do you lean into that stuff, and use it to inspire the players, and how much does that sometimes cloud just focusing on the job in hand?
Stuff's that.
The incentive, the chance to go through everything that goes along, everything that's at stake. Do you lean into that with the players?
Well, I think the players are aware of it. I think they're not blind to it. They understand the magnitude of the game, but they also understand, that it's about performing. I think that's key. We, I think key in games like this here is that you play the game and not the occasion. The occasion's absolutely massive for us, but we can only get to where we want to get to by playing to the levels that we've played at, especially at home. So, and that's through our focusing on the performance, and that's what we've talked about over the last few days.
That is what we've talked about in the last few days, the performance. It is all about the performance, and I'm expecting a fantastic performance by Celtic tomorrow night at home under the lights. And I think that with everything to play for in this Champions League, and I'm just looking at the scores, getting an update on the scores. Let's just do that. Current scores are Atletico Madrid 0 by Leverkusen 0, Benfica 0, Barcelona 1. That would just annoy them. PSV games 0-0. The Liverpool-Lille game is 0-0. Slovan Bratislava Stuttgart, that is 0-0. I'm expecting Stuttgart to win that game surely. And then the Club Brugge Juventus, that's an interesting one because in Bologna Dortmund, that's currently 0-0 also. When you see that, and there's only really below us. I mean, the Club Brugge one, that wouldn't. If Stuttgart were to win, they would jump above Celtic, pushing us down another place, which would push us down to 23rd position, with us still to play tomorrow. So it just shows you how close it is. And we can jump up. We need to score more than 3 goals. If we score more than 3 goals tomorrow, goals for goal difference, we'd really need to score. If we could win 4-0, that would really do us the world of good, getting up into the sort of the top 12, because Monaco are on +3. Monaco are on +3 in the Champions League. So if we win 4-0, say we go all out tomorrow, right, and we get a couple of goals in the first half early on, another goal just after the second half, just to settle the nerves, and then another goal late on, just to really prove a point that Celtic are right up here and buzzing for it. And I think that could take us above Monaco. We would need to win 4-0 to go above Monaco. Juventus, depends on the Juventus result. I mean, if Juventus get... there's too many permutations. There's actually too many permutations just now. And it is, the buzz is back. The Champions League is back. Let's jump into the comments. I did ask a question in the comments, and it seems to have froze. Why is my screen frozen again? Let me just shut this down. Damn websites with the... Similarly, Rennes are still looking to try and sell Jota. And why is that? It's back up there. Seems to be freezing. Right, Patrick Connor says, hail, you never walk along, Baz. Kuhn and Maida to get goals. Cannot wait for the good result. And see what happens with Aston Villa. I still think we'll take something for Aston Villa. I said right at the beginning, I'm going to go with my gut feeling. I think that we can win tomorrow night, and we can win. We can win at Aston Villa. I believe that we can win at Aston Villa. I think that we can do it, and if not, a draw would be a fantastic result. The guy follows Swiss football fans, thinking we'll win by 3. Kaiser, you'll be very busy tomorrow night when they drink along. Yep. Paul Baird says nothing but a win tomorrow, especially anything else will be unacceptable. The Bruges result, I'm just watching that. It's Club Bruges are currently 0-0. It is currently 0-0 with Club Bruges. Bologna. Nah, see, other teams that are away down it doesn't really matter. The only one that can do us any harm tonight would be Stuttgart. Stuttgart have pushed Dynamo Zagreb into the 25th position. As it stands, and this is, put it into perspective, what we've achieved at Celtic this season. This is how good it is. As it stands, if the Champions League was to finish tonight, and that was all the games done, and these were the positions, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, the club that's got way more money than Celtic, would be eliminated from the Champions League. Dynamo Zagreb would be eliminated. Shakhtar Donetsk eliminated. Bologna eliminated. RB Salzburg eliminated. Sturm Graz, Slovan Bratislava, Leipzig, Young Boys. Well, Young Boys are going to be the whipping boys, and hopefully we can get 4 past them tomorrow. They have an interesting stat for you. They have let in 22 goals over the 6 games. So they are conceding goals. So you would take it that Celtic could take at least 3 of them. If we've got our shooting boots on tomorrow, we need every single player. No Jota, that ship has sailed. 4 million for Jota final offer. There's the Turkish side that was after Jota are not agreeing to the money that that Rennes want for him. Rennes are wanting something like 6.5 million, and 6.5 million. But then there you go. Anyway, another exclusive that was broken tonight. The Comfy Football Insider, and I'm not too sure about Peter O'Rourke. He sometimes puts headlines out there that's complete nonsense. But he does say that Lewis Palmer's been chased by Sunderland, Stoke, Swansea, and Queen's Park Rangers, as well as several European clubs. He always goes to doing that unnamed. He'll go to Spain. Lewis Palmer will go to Spain. He won't go to England. He'll go to Spain. I still believe Louis Palmer will go to Spain. But what does it do for a certain other player if he does? Just trying to see this on the table. There's also noise about Kidsvergarten. A German club, Eintracht Frankfurt, are considering a move for Matthias Kidsvergarten. So will that throw a cat amongst the pigeons? Because Celtic have been after Kidsvergarten for a while, and the fact that Kidsvergarten is now Dortmund 1-0 up a penalty. Both. Let me just jump on here. It'd be Stuttgart's winning as well. Celtic are now down to 23rd in the league. Stuttgart is winning. Celtic are down to 23rd in the Champions League as we stand. Squeaky bum time. This is what I mean. Stuttgart was the only team that could push us down a spot. Real Madrid, Dynamo Zagreb are now in the elimination zone. Man City are 24th in the Champions League. The all-spending Man City, 24th in the Champions League. Celtic are 23rd. Real Madrid. This is bonkers, putting us in beside Man City and Real Madrid, squashed in between them, and it is absolutely nuts. But Stuttgart are 1-0 up, and they're sitting on 10 points. Jesus. Oof. Absolutely nuts scorelines. Barcelona's 1-1. Barcelona have just scored. Come on. Barcelona's just scored. So it's 1-1 with Barcelona. And the Liverpool game's still 0-0. Both busy night tonight is going to be Benfica. But I told you it would just annoy Barcelona. I'm going to go watch that for half time. I knew that one would just... The fact that Barcelona have scored so many goals... goals for Barcelona now sitting on goals for 22 goals for in the Champions League, more than anyone else. Goals against 8, the goal difference is sitting at 14. Dortmund are jumped up into 3rd position. Dortmund, who hammered Celtic, have jumped into 3rd position on 15 points. They're sitting on a goal difference of 10. Just shows the importance of the amount of goals that they scored against Celtic. They're sitting on a goal difference of 19. So a good shout for the final could be Barcelona versus Dortmund, as long as they two manage to stay away from each other when it comes to obviously the last 16 and beyond. Those two are a good shout. If those two meet, it's going to be one hell of a game. It is going to be one hell of a game. Dortmund are winning. I've just said that, Big Dom. Or am I just catching up with the comments? Stuttgart are 1-0, cracking penalty, Barcelona. What's the best game to watch tonight? Parkhead Boys saying, that's a hard one. When you look at the games that are on, when you look at the games that are on tonight, the matches that are on, if you're going to watch it, I would watch the Barcelona one. There's a chance that might be a high-scoring game. It's 1-1 already with Benfica-Barcelona. Barcelona have been scoring for fun. I think if you're looking for a high-scoring game, I would go and watch. I'm going to watch the Benfica-Barcelona game anyway, the second half. Because Dortmund, Bologna are Italian, dead defensive. They're not doing too great in the Italian league. Dortmund will win that, but I would go with the Benfica Barcelona. Liverpool game might get interesting, but I don't know, not too sure. And anyway, the full-time result that's already happened is Monaco versus Aston Villa. Lewandowski is the top goal scorer in the Champions League so far with 7. Jonathan David of Lille has scored 6 goals. And then, where's any Celtic players? It's only got the top 4 for the goals, and then it's got assists. And then they've got the yellow card totals. Slovan Bratislava player ranks he's got 6 yellow cards. How can you have 6 yellow? You must have had a yellow card in every single game. Jesus, some player that. In fact, the Atalanta scored 5 tonight. Benfica Barcelona's 1-1. Just getting an update on that. Dortmund are still beating Bologna 1-0 in Italy. Right, anyway, so the news that there are several teams after Louis Palma. What if Celtic don't get a winger in that they want? What if the deal? What if Brendan Rodgers is going all in for the Aston Villa guy, and that doesn't happen? Liverpool will win it. Do you think Liverpool will win the Champions League? Who's going to win the Champions League? Liverpool? I don't know. I think Barcelona. I've got Barcelona game on mute. Baz live, hit the thumbs up. Big Des, I'm jumping off in around about 25 minutes. Greg Taylor has more assists this season than Arne Engels and McGregor and Hatate combined this season. But he should do, really, because that's the position that he plays in, is to provide assists. That's why Brendan Rodgers wants to keep him so much. And Greg Taylor, to get an assist tomorrow night, get your money on it. It wouldn't surprise me. What's the team for tomorrow? My team for tomorrow is Kasper Schmeichel in goals, Greg Taylor, and then it's the normal back 4. I don't think Scales is going to get a shout into it. I don't know what Scales is meant to be thinking. What have I done wrong to not get a shout in the team? Brendan Rodgers seems to be have settled on Cameron Carter-Vickers and Trusty playing together to provide a partnership, and Alistair Johnson. So it's going to be Alistair Johnson, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Austin Trusty, and Greg Taylor at the back. In the midfield, I'm going to go for Cammy, as you always do. You're going to go for Callum McGregor. And with a pairing of Rio Hatate and Arne Engels. I think he'll go with Rio Hatate and Arne Engels because he'll want to play the players that he think can turn the game quick. And if Rio Hatate is up for it, and this is the stage that Rio Hatate has been shouting out for it, if Rio Hatate Celtic Dortmund final and Celtic would win 7-1, if only. And I think Alex Bailly might start. I don't think so. He's been back up, and the manager's still trying to convince Greg Taylor to accept the deal that Celtic have got on the table. But anyway, the midfield is going to be Callum McGregor, Rio Hatate and Arne Engels for me. And then it's up front, it's normal. The three guys pick themselves week in, week out. Nico Kuhn, he's going to do what Nico Kuhn does at these big nights. Dyson Maeda is just Duracell bunny. Dyson is one player that Celtic cannot afford to sell at any cost, if you ask me. And then it is going to be up to Kyogo. Kyogo is going to get some amount of crosses tomorrow. He needs to start putting the ball in the back of the net, and he needs to do it in style. Will this be the day? Will this be the day that? Will tomorrow be the day that Francis Tolan sounds like a good Burns night? will tomorrow night be the night that ultimately signs off Kyogo Furuhashi as a player that may leave Celtic in this transfer window? It's never happened yet, but it might do. Chilpel says the same team buys, although I'd love to see McCowan get a start. It won't happen. No, I don't think it will happen. Keith's away for a pint. Jesus. Nah, I don't wear glasses actually. Keith, so you're wrong. I don't even wear glasses during the day. These are disguise. That's only for reading a laptop. Reading all your descriptions. No, I don't think that. I'd like to see Luke McCowan starting, but I think Luke McCowan's maybe a year away from dominating that midfield. I could see. I tell you one thing. Next season, if we don't bring any midfielders in, I could see a midfield three of Luke McCowan, Arne Engels and Paulo Bernardo. I think that you'll see Captain Kalmak getting dropped once or twice. So let's get it onto the standings. So the Champions League standings as it is Liverpool are still top of the Champions League with 19 points. They're not going to be taken off that unless Barcelona win tonight and Liverpool don't. Dortmund have moved up into third place. This is starting to look awfully ominous for Celtic. Celtic have had a great chance to be up there and be around after the Dortmund and Atalanta game. Dortmund are sitting third in the Champions League at the moment, winning 1-0. Can't see Dortmund dropping points tonight. They're sitting on 15 points. Atalanta are sitting on 14 points. Leverkusen are drawn 0-0. They're sitting on 14 points. Lille are playing Liverpool, and that's currently 0-0. If Lille were to go on and win that would be an earthquaker, because Lille would move up into the top 4 in the Champions League and really mix things up. Arsenal, I can't forget about Arsenal. They're sitting in 7th place in the Champions League. They play tomorrow night also. I wonder if Kieran Tierney will get a game from Arsenal tomorrow night. I'll tell you one thing, that would be some swan song. Game for Celtic, and then up the road and signed for Celtic. Atletico Madrid. Aston Villa got beat tonight, and they're sitting on 7 points. They would have hoped they would win that, because they would have been right back up there. You've got to remember that Aston Villa at one point were top of the Champions League, weren't they? They were up there right in position 1 and 2 for a good couple of games at the start. Aston Villa, over the last 5 games, they lost today, they won their previous game, they drew the game before that, they lost the game before that, and then they won the other game. So they've only won 2 out of the last 5 games. And then when you look at Celtic, I mean, we've only won 1. 3 draws, a win, and getting beat by Dortmund. I think that the draws at home are the ones that are, the draw at home was the one that really got to us, wasn't it? And I thought we could have got something more when we went to Croatia, but we didn't. Barcelona are winning. No, they're not. They're getting beat. Holy shit. Barcelona are getting beat 2-1. Oh my God. Oh my days. Benfica have scored against Barcelona. What is happening? Jesus. What is happening? This is going to be some night of football, I tell you that. The new Champions League setup is more exciting than the last one. Of course it is, Chilpel. I think it's doing Celtic. It's a fantastic way to have the tournament. And anyway, let's talk to the manager. Let's listen to the manager to see what he says about the Champions League, while we just keep an eye on these scores.
It's a game we're really excited about. The Champions League story so far has been, in the main, really good for us, and especially at home. So we're excited about the challenge of the game and looking forward to it.
Yeah, Callum spoke quite a lot about how he expects young boys to approach this game a wee bit differently from other teams you've played so far in the campaign. How do you see that?
Well, I think it's a team that obviously that, you know, you have to respect every team at this level. I know there'll be lots of noise around the record and where they're at, but they're a team that won the the Swiss League last season by 12 points, and obviously it hasn't gone so well for them this season. You know, I think they've got the third manager now. So, but the games that we've watched, they are what you expect a team of this level to have: athletic ability and quality. But really, the focus has to be very much on ourselves. So we will respect the opponent, but for us, we want to really press and continually attack the game for 90 plus minutes, and if we can do that and get that special feeling that comes with that type of performance in this arena, then it can be a great night for us. But as I said, you always have to respect how every team's set up and the qualities that they have, and that's why they're in the competition.
Given what's at stake tomorrow night, do you expect maybe a wee bit of nervousness, perhaps not with the players, but with supporters?
No, well, that's up to us. We, we've played here and had some really good games this season, and the supporters have been absolutely fantastic. I think what is important is that, the classic example is the Bruges game. Probably the feeling can be that you're playing Red Bull Leipzig, so you're maybe feeling the wee bit of the underdog, and so there's that push to get you over the line. We can't not think it's any different just because we're playing young boys, or like we play with Bruges. We've seen Bruges, who are a very, very good side, have more experience in the Champions League than ourselves in recent history, and had some very good players. So I think it's about creating the environment and that ambience to help really push the players. But like I say, it's up to us in the game to really go and play with that speed and quality that we've shown at this level, especially at home.
Yeah, you mentioned the Leipzig game there, probably one of the high points in recent years for Celtic. But then in the last two European matches, you haven't quite managed to create as many chances. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, it's Champions League. It happens. Bruges was, as I said, was a really good reaction second half. We were second best in the first half, but the players dug deep and came back and could have easily won the game in the second half. The Zagreb game was a game where we didn't quite find our level. It wasn't a great game, to be honest, but you can't dismiss a point at this level. So you're not going to just turn up at this level and steamroller every team that you play. It's just not possible. But we're really focused and ready to perform in this game.
Brendan, having worked your way through this new Champions League format, how does it feel to now stand knowing that what's at stake and what a win can do for you in terms of progression?
Well, it's a great position for us to be in. I think that when we started this journey, we wanted to show that we can compete at this level, and can we go and make the next steps and get into the playoff stage. So we've been able to get ourselves into a really good position with 9 points, and our home form at the level has been really good. And we have that opportunity now to take a big step to get to the playoff.
Massive step.
He creado el salón de mis...
Massive step. And that was Brendan Rodgers talking about Barca 3-1 down. Oh my God, what is happening to Barcelona? Oh, what is happening? What is happening to... No, they're not according to this, is it? They must be on the telly then, just update. Live scores. I'm going to have to watch this on the telly. I told you it would be a big scoring game. Benfica are beating Barcelona 3-1. Oh my God. Oh my God. Barcelona are getting beat in Benfica 3-1. That's a result that you never saw coming. Benfica have jumped up from 10th to 13th position. When you look at it, Benfica are now sitting on goals of +4. Goals of +4. Unbelievable. It must have been ruled offside. Has it been ruled offside? The league table isn't updated, but the scoreline says it's 3-1. Come on, league table update. Anyway, that will put them on goals of +5. Goals against Benfica. They've had 8 goals scored against them in 7 games now. Jesus, that has, what's it done to Celtic? Celtic are still in 23rd position. I don't think there's any other game that can, tonight anyway, that can push Celtic down any places. So by the end of play tonight, the worst that will be 23rd position. We've dropped down 2 positions. We were 21 at the start of play tonight. So, but it's not to be worried. It's nothing to worry about, because 9 points. Win tomorrow puts us up onto 12 points. Sticks us up and around the sort of 13, 14 position mark, but it depends on goals, because there's other teams. It all comes down to, if we win 1-0 tomorrow, we'll go up to around about 17th in the Champions League. When you look at the Milan are sitting on 12 points on +3. Juventus are sitting on 12 points with +4, and Bayern are sitting on 12 points with +9. This shows the importance, and it shows the misfiring Celtic that we've had pretty much since end of October, really, isn't it? Not scoring for fun the way we were at the start of the season, but we've got a massive opportunity. We need to score at least 4 goals tomorrow night to put us right up there in the mix for to be seeded more than anything. I don't think that we'll get. I mean, they're all, some of the media already. Aston Villa's Champions League last 16 chances to be sided, and Battle of Britain with Celtic after defeat to Monaco, and is one of the headlines tonight. So you're going to get a lot of Battle of Britain Champions League games, Champions League headlines over the next week until. Jesus, it does say that they've put 1 foot in the last 16 as they emerge from the Principality, but it's just their second defeat in 7 matches, and an impressive debut season. And more than likely they'll have to win the Battle of Britain against Celtic next week to have any chance of finishing in the top 8 and earn a direct qualification to the last 16. Well, if that is the case, Celtic, they have it in their own hands. It does look like that you're going to have at least a minimum of 15 points to get into the top 8. A minimum of 15 points. To get into the top 8. Can Celtic do it? I think that the goal, we can do it points wise, but I think the thing that Brendan Rodgers will be pulling his hair out with is the goals against, and the goals. When you look at the goal difference, that's the thing that may stop us getting automatic quality. Could you imagine if we do it? Oh, yes! Oh, it'll be absolutely buzzing if we manage to do it. But it is all in our hands. PSV are winning 2-0. 2-0 now. But that's not got a direct effect on where we stand in the league. So I think it's fair to say that we are going to end up. Barca are 3-1 down. Yep, Celtic Mad. Parkhead Brown Warrior says some teams celebrate a draw in the SPFL like they've won the Champions League, for fuck's sake, Baz. Yes. 4-0 is rejection. Pray it happens. We need to score. When you look at the table, it's as simple as that. We need to score 4 goals tomorrow. If we've got any aspirations to try, it's in our own hands. If we think that we can do it, if we score 4 tomorrow night, if we win 1-0 away to Aston Villa, that gives us a fantastic chance to be up there, and with the possibility of finishing top 8 in automatic place. Now, why it's important for the automatic qualification, because the next payday is 9.2 million. If you automatically qualify for the last 16, it's a payment of £9.2 million that Celtic would receive. If they go into the playoff positions, they've got 2 games, and for each one of those games, they get 1.4 million. So they get 1.4 million, you get 2.8 million for the 2 games, and then if they go into the last 16, they then get the other payment for getting into the last 16 of the 9.2 million. So when you look at it, it is all about, well, no way we'll beat Villa, says Ben 1967. Well, Monaco beat them tonight, and that wasn't expected. We need to claw back the Dortmund goals that we conceded. Villa will be a hard game. Look, win it 1-0. Win it 1-0. 1-0 away to Villa is a fantastic result. We've done it before. We've beat Liverpool. We beat flipping lots of teams for England on a run to Seville. Think about it that way. I'm telling you. I feel it in my water. We'll do the One Celtic Fans View Ultras tour. Celtic may be breaking the bank this season. Well, I think they'll break the bank this season. If we can get into that last 16, I think we'll do it. We can beat Villa. I feel it. I said my predictions before a ball was kicked that we would win their home game and against Bratislava. We would lose to Dortmund. I never seen that massive scoreline. I said that we would draw to Atalanta. I said that we would then win at home, and then the iffy game for me was always going to be the Aston Villa game, the last game. And I thought if we can get to a position where we only need a point, hopefully we'll have qualified. I did say hopefully, and as it stands, we'll have qualified. Liverpool are 1-0 up. Oh my goodness, that does interesting things to the top of the Champions League. It puts Liverpool on 21 points with a goal difference of 13. Barcelona are currently getting beaten in the Champions League, which is a massive shock result if that stands. Massive shock result. And Dortmund sitting on 15 points. Here's another one for you. If Dortmund were to score another 2 goals this evening, they would jump up into second place in the Champions League. This is how tight it is when it comes to goals. Barcelona are sitting second at the moment. Dortmund are sitting third. But if Dortmund were to score another 2 goals this evening, that would push them up into second place, which I think just puts everything into perspective for Celtic, who will end the night in 23rd position in the Champions League. It's too close to the 24th position, but pray to God, and I feel it, I can feel it. We're going to do it. We are going to do it. Anyway, let's check out some Celtic news before we finish up and go and watch some football. Of course we can. With Jota come back, I've got a funny feeling if Celtic do not get a certain player that Aston Villa have and that Celtic are after, I've got a funny feeling that Celtic might go in for Jota at the last minute of the transfer window, and then that'll allow Louis Palmer to go out. I've just got a funny feeling. It wouldn't surprise me if that happened. It wouldn't surprise. We have a great history of turning English clubs over. Yes, we do that. Can't wait till tomorrow on the Hoops. Scorelines for tomorrow. I am still going to go. Get your scorelines in the chat before we leave. We're going to go with Celtic 4, Young Boys 0. Going to stick to the scoreline I want. And I'm going to go Young Boys 4, Celtic 0. And Stephen Kelly's going to go for 3-1 tomorrow. I could see Young Boys collapse in the atmosphere. There is a Champions League simulator, Baz, updates real-time scores, does the permutations and scores, put it in if you put in on any game. Interesting, Kaiser. Interesting. Chilwell's going for 4-0 tomorrow. Stuart Ramsey, Willie's going for 3-1 Celtic. Craig Young's going for 3-1 Celtic. GR8 Kev's going for 3-0 Celtic. Celtic Maz going for 4-0. Dave Hislop's going for 5-0. Could you imagine if it was 5-0? If it was 5-0, that would do the Celtic the world of good. Gerald Kelly is going for 1-0. We need to score more than 1. it's going to come down to goal difference. The Champions League format this year, the more goals that we score will make sure that it's the difference between finishing 16 and upwards. You know, it is the difference between finishing 16 and upwards and ultimately getting seeded. And that's what would be in the back of Brendan Rodgers' mind. He thinks if we can get right up there, I mean, it's within our own hands to possibly finish in top 8 still. But we need to score at least 4 goals. Glasgow's Green and White is going for 5-0. Bruce 119 is going for 3-1 Celtic. Kevin says, we definitely not release any signings until the last day. He has a tendency for multiple press release signings. Yep. I've said, Big Des, the date to look out for is the day after the Aston Villa games on the 29th. From the 30th and 31st, wait for Celtic to do some press conferences then. I think Celtic will try and get it done and dusted on the Thursday, Friday, and then on the Monday there may be a few incomings and outgoings when it comes to Celtic. I think there may be one player comes in. You never know, there might be maybe 2 or 3 players come in on the 3rd of February when the transfer window shuts, but definitely I don't see any movement happening now until after the Aston Villa game. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Right, let's look at the Champions League just for one more minute. Look at some of the results as we're coming up to the half-time mark. We'll wait till they all go into half-time. As it stands, Atletico Madrid, played by Leverkusen, is 0-0 up in Madrid. Atletico Madrid have had a player sent off, which is karma, after that ridiculous sending off that happened to Dyson Maida last season. Was it last season? It was last season, wasn't it? Benfica are 3-1 up against Barcelona, a scoreline that I did not think would go that way. I thought when Benfica scored in the 4th minute, it would only annoy Barcelona. It did do that, but then Barcelona have obviously been on the attack, and it's allowed to Benfica to hit them on the break twice. It is now 3-1 Barcelona. Liverpool are winning 1-0, which maintains their 100% record in the Champions League against Lille. PSV is winning 2-0. Club Brugge, Juventus is 0-0. Slovan Bratislava versus Stuttgart is 2-0. That was expected Stuttgart to win. And Dortmund are beating Bologna 1-0 in Italy. RB Leipzig sports, and that's tomorrow evening anyway. And what it's done to the league is it's pushed Celtic down to 23rd position. And dear God, it's exciting night, isn't it? Celtic told player will end his career in Glasgow. Just gonna see this. I don't think anybody's joining Spurs. What a nonsense story. What a nonsense story. Callum McGregor will end his career at Celtic and will not reunite with Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham. Oh my God. What an absolute nonsense story. There's not a chance. Not a chance that hell would need to freeze over for Callum McGregor to leave Celtic and head down to Tottenham to join up with Ange Postecoglou, that's for sure. Jesus. Anyway, let's finish it off the poll. There's been 191 votes in the poll. Score predictions. 1-0 to Celtic. Celtic to win by 2 or more goals, 61%. Just win at any cost, 35% was that. We need to take our chances, says Chill Pill. Square Sausage Mix says 3-0 the Hoops, he's going for. And I'm just reading this. Another reason goals in the first half. 5-0. Really looking forward to the game. Glasgow's green and white. Baz, the team that finished 9th play the team that finished 24th, and then the team that finished 23rd plays, and so on. Right, so you really need to. Oh, Jesus. You really need to try and finish ideally at around about 12th then to get a team that's going to be. Because I tell you one thing, the teams that are sitting in those positions just now, Who wrote that? The Daily Rangers. No, it was Hail Hail 67. It was Hail Hail 67 that wrote that. Yep. Hail Hail 67, and ran a story about Callum McGregor to stay at Celtic and not join Ange Postecoglou. So there you go. Anyway, take care, Baz. It's 0-0. It's half time. The half time results are all coming in. And on that note, I'm away to just finish off my green Red Bull. Yep, my green Red Bull. Where is it? The green edition. In case Red Bull wants to sponsor us. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening wherever you are. And remember, we'll be around for, we'll do a live first thing tomorrow morning, and then we might do a lunchtime live also as we get geared up for the game, and then we will go live 2 hours before kickoff, 2 hours before the big game. We will go live tomorrow. And an expectation of a fantastic team that Brendan Rodgers is going to put out to have complete dominance over young boys in, I shouldn't have said that, Hans will fucking jump all over that, won't they? Complete football dominance over the Swiss team. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up